Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Connie and welcome back to my podcast. Today is going to be another episode of the Am I the A-hole Reddit responses, reacts, opinions, whatever you want to call it. So I have a few more stories to read to you guys, and then I'll go ahead and give you my input, my 3 cents that will never make a difference. But anyways, don't forget, before I forget, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up and comment down below your stories. I'm wondering if anybody has their own story. I'm not going to say like at 123 ABC person, but I'm going to read your story if you have one. Okay, so this specific one, I saved it a while ago. And then, so I don't remember what it is. This is going to be my honest reaction. Am I the a-hole for putting my dog before my best friend? Okay, so I met my best friend at the start of the year and she's great. I really love her as a sister and she's a great person. I got my dog when I was 5 and grew up with her. My dog and my best friend have birthdays on the same day. I told my best friend that I might not be able to go to her party because I would be spending the day with my dog. Now, I must say my best friend has a little bit of anger issues and is a little possessive. She got upset and said, "Your dog's birthday doesn't go all the fucking day, does it?" I didn't want to upset her further, so I told her it doesn't, and I said we usually just do presents, walk, and dog beach. She still wasn't happy because we would grow apart and I see my dog every day. I'm sorry, I see her every day as well at school. The thing is, my dog is probably the most important thing to me after my parents and siblings, and I see my dog as more of a baby sister than a pet. Now, I dug myself into a hole telling my friend that I could just move the date of my dog's birthday to fit in what she wants to do. She has never had a pet and doesn't consider my dog as part of my family. I just want to tell her, hey, my dog is very important to me. I'm not going to miss her birthday. If you can't change the day, and then I won't be able to come until later. Yeah, after the dog beach. My family and I go home. We get home around 3 to 4. My friend's party goes around 12 to 9. So it isn't a big deal if I arrive late. She told me I would probably miss all the fun and the party would probably be over by the time I arrive. I really do cherish our friendship and this isn't a big deal, but I don't want it to affect my dog in any way. Please, could you give me advice? Edit. It seems like some of you guys think that my dog is mine. I'm still a kid and my dog is registered under my parents' name. I don't know. I feel like your friend's kind of mean. Most people own a dog and most people love their dog. I don't know, just hang out with your parents and hang out with your dog. Have the time of your life. No, I think you should go with your parents, celebrate your dog's birthday, and then later, like you said, later go to your friend's house. Even if everything is over, you at least went. Like in the Mexican culture, cumpliste. You still went. Like, it's better that you went for a while than not going at all. Okay, next one. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my window seat to someone's kid? Months ago, I booked a JetBlue flight from San Francisco to New York City and realized I accumulated enough points over the years to purchase a first-class seat for free. I had the option to pick my seat and I always choose the window. Even when I'm flying economy, I always pay the extra fee to select seats in advance. 1, ensure I'm not kicked off if it's overbooked later. And 2, simply because I like the window seat and I'm a geography nerd and I enjoy looking out the window. Anyway, the day of the flight comes and a woman and her 2 kids are assigned next to me in first class cabin. The lady asked me if I could switch seats so her kid could have the window. If this was economy, I probably would switch so the kid could have the window, even though I would be miffed since I selected it in advance. The mother didn't. However, I don't get to fly first class very often and I was looking forward to this flight, so I simply said no, sorry. The kid threw a fit. The mother gave me a glare and pretty much tried to guilt trip me into switching, but I just ignored her. I might be an asshole for refusing to give my first class window seat to a kid, but at the same time, every passenger has the option to choose their seats in advance. And if she wanted the window seat for her kid, she should have reserved it in advance. Plus, her kids are flying first class. Some people never get to fly in first class in their lifetime. My friend thinks I'm the a-hole, so I'm turning it to you, Reddit. Am I the a-hole? No, you are not the a-hole. I feel like moms who... I would understand if the mom's like really going through it and she didn't have it in her budget to pick like a window seat. But you shouldn't be guilt tripping somebody else to like give it to your child, you know? You should have more... What am I trying to say? You should have been more prepared with your child going into the airplane. I've never been on a plane with a child, less 2 kids, but that would be hard on, like, just going on the plane with 2 kids. Just that thought alone is wild, honestly. I wonder where she was going, or like I wonder if she was going for, it could have been like an emergency visit. It could have been her just flying out to see her parents, family members, a friend, or it could have been an actual vacation, like it was a planned trip in advance, you know, she saved up her money, or it could have been like a birthday gift for somebody. I don't know, but the point is, no, I don't think you're the a-hole, because like you mentioned before, you 1, paid in advance, and 2, it was first class. I feel like if she really wanted the windows, she could have bought 2 economy tickets, paid the extra for the window seat, and she would have been Gucci, versus, oh, I want to get the first class and then not pick the seats, I guess. Or maybe she just bought it too late and she didn't have the option to, like, she didn't have window seats available. There's a lot of things that could happen, but no, I do not think you are the a-hole for refusing to give someone's kid the window seat, because I myself would have loved the window seat, honestly, and I'm not a kid anymore. My mom made me this massive cup of agua de melon, or as TikTok calls it, spa water. No, pues wow, it's spa water. Anyways, it's fire. Am I the a-hole for telling my coworker not on her side for calling the police on another coworker? So for background, I work at a gas station and have only worked there for a few weeks. My coworker, we'll call her Brittany, 30s, female. She hates one of my other coworkers, we'll call him Jim, 40s, male, who's homeless and lives in his car. Recently, Brittany flipped out on Jim while he was hanging out in the gas station waiting for his phone to charge. He's done this for as long as he's been homeless and has expressed his permission from our boss to do so. She called the cops on him and it turned into a big thing. Whatever. Tonight was my first time working with Brittany and I was her relief so she could go home. Except she was still scheduled for another half an hour and I can't ring up customers for another half hour because the system resets and I have to start over if I take customers. I tried to explain that to her, but she insisted that I open a till and relieve her so she wouldn't have to work with Jim, who was scheduled at the same time I was. Again, I tried to explain to her that I'm not supposed to, but she kept complaining about working with Jim. I said that she was an adult and sometimes she'll have to work with people she doesn't like. I get that she has a problem with Jim, but I am not the one to complain. I'm not on her side and fully believe she's the bad guy in this situation because she hates homeless people and treats Jim like crap because he lives in his car and loiters in the store to charge his phone. She huffed and started counting her till down and told me I was selfish. Told me that I was a selfish asshole because I wouldn't sympathize with her. So I'm wondering if I'm the asshole for calling her out and not taking her side. Honestly, it sounds like she's jealous of a homeless guy. Saying that somebody is homeless sounds horrible, but I feel like nowadays there's a bigger possibility of somebody being homeless and still having a full-time job, especially working at the gas station. I'm pretty sure they don't pay enough. And so, yeah, it just sounds like she's jealous of Jim. Maybe Jim's like a pretty chill guy and had unfortunate events in his life and he's homeless now. But maybe he seems like maybe he's like a really cool guy and is really going through it right now. And a lot of people sympathize with him because he's homeless and has a job. And then there's this other girl over here who probably works her ass off and is barely getting through. Which, no, I don't think you are the a-hole for telling your coworker that you're not on her side for calling the police. And on top of that, he has permission to be there to charge his phone. So like he's not I don't want to say expected there, but you know he's gonna be there. Like you know he's gonna be charging his phone. You know the schedule. Like it's there for everybody to see. It's not like, oh, you work here, oh, you work this schedule today, oh, I work this schedule today too. Like you're not gonna find out the day of. And on top of that, you're new there. Like why is maybe she was just trying to get you on her side. Maybe she was trying to get you on her side to basically hate on Jim. Maybe she's just a bitter hater. Like la gente no está contenta con su vida. Y no sé por qué. Live life, be happy, try to be stress free, take it day by day. If you hate on somebody, don't hate on anybody. Just live your life. So no, I do not think you are the a-hole in this situation. Next one. Am I the a-hole for throwing a bowl away after a guest used it? I am confusion. We had a small gathering last week, cake and ice cream for our daughter's birthday. We bought paper plates. we bought paper cake plates and plastic silverware for the people we had to use. One of the guests asked if they could use one of the small bowls that are almost plates I had tucked away in the corner of the counter. I explained those were my dishes, so no. Everyone I know, including this guest, knows I cannot eat gluten. Now Reddit does too. Even cross-contamination makes me sick. I had just had a conversation with this person about how I was going to have to wash the kitchen and all the door handles down because of the cake. It was normal cake, and that was why I wasn't eating it. I offered regular plates to them, but it was too big. A few minutes later, I see them eating cake from my dish. When they finished, I asked if they were done. Yes. Took the bowl and threw it in the trash. Guest said that was an asshole move. I just told them, I told you not to use it. I didn't make a scene, just threw it away. Was I the a-hole for tossing this dish right away in front of them instead of waiting? I didn't want it to accidentally be washed and be put back with my dishes, and I didn't want anyone seeing it with cake and taking another dish. That's hard, honestly. No, I don't think you're the a-hole because like they're visiting your house, so they have to follow your rules, especially knowing that you're this I don't know what to call it, severe allergic reaction, or like you're gluten-free 1000%, and you get these reactions when you eat gluten or cross-contamination. They were just being dumb, honestly. Maybe some people stress me out, honestly. Like, why can't they just follow your rules? Why can't? And it's not a new thing. It's not a new guest. Like, if it was a new guest, you could have like explained to them, oh no, because of the gluten and this and that. And then they would have been like, oh, okay, sorry. So no, I do not think you are the a-hole in this situation, because people should just follow your rules, honestly. When you go to a different house, you need to follow the rules. Like, if they take off their shoes in the entrance, I would take off my shoes in the entrance. If they don't have cell phones on the table, then you try not to have cell phones on the table. Or I don't know, certain things, like if they don't let their child watch, if their child doesn't have screen time, you're not gonna sit there and give them screen time, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna respect that. Like, it's kind of like boundaries. You have to respect the boundaries. And okay, this is gonna be the last one. This is a long one, so bear with me. Okay, so for this last one, I'm gonna try to talk with just the microphone and see how I feel, if I like it, if I don't like it. If you guys like the audio, if you don't like the audio, let me know. A woman finds out her boyfriend is married. Am I the a-hole for confronting my boyfriend with his wife in public? What? So I know how the title sounds, but hear me out. I, 26 female, started dating my now boyfriend, 35. We have been dating for 7 months. A month ago, he told me he had to talk to me about something important. I honestly thought maybe he just wanted to break up with me, but what he said was so much worse. My boyfriend sat me down and said that there was a problem. The problem being he's falling in love with me. When he said that, I got so confused. I didn't understand what the problem was. I asked him why, what was the problem? And that's when he told me that he's actually married and has been divorced, and lied about his age. He's actually 42. I sat there shocked and didn't know what to say. When I finally came out of shock, I got up, grabbed my stuff, and told him to never call or text me again. He tried saying that what most cheaters do, that I was different. His wife told him he hadn't been happy in a really long time and was considering getting a divorce. I still grabbed my stuff and left and didn't think twice about it. The problem came about 2 weeks ago when my period was 2 months late. I wasn't worried because I'm extremely irregular, but after being late for a second month, I decided to take a EPT. It was positive. I thought maybe it was a false positive and took 6 more tests and they were all positive. I was so upset. I cried out of shock and anger because of the situation as a whole. I called my now ex-boyfriend. He didn't respond. I texted him telling him I needed to talk to him, and radio silence. After days of calling and texting, he finally answered the phone and said if I was pregnant. He didn't think it was his and stopped texting and calling and hung up. I was livid. How dare he? I wasn't the only one lying and cheating. Now, being pregnant, I would have to explain to my family the real reason I broke up with him and tell them I'm pregnant. Fast forward to Mother's Day weekend. My family and I went out to dinner on Saturday night to celebrate. I'm about 12 weeks along in my pregnancy and have to pee all the time. As I was walking to the bathroom, I saw my lying ex, and he was there with his family or friends. and based on body language, his wife. I was so hurt and angry about everything. I didn't think before acting. I went to their table. I introduced myself. I told everyone at the table what happened from start to finish. Showed them pictures of us together, text. As a final note, I announced my pregnancy before leaving the table. I grabbed his drink and threw it at him. I then looked over at his wife. She was bawling and I felt so bad, but I was so hurt and angry. Did I take it too far? Am I the a-hole? Should I have done things differently? Edit. He doesn't have children. His wife and him were having dinner with all adults at their table and my family was celebrating Mother's Day. I'm considering terminating the pregnancy, but have not decided one way or the other. My ex reached out offering to pay an abortion, but because he doesn't want a child and never has. First update, his wife reached out to me and wanted to meet up. I met up with her. I felt like it was the least I could do after everything that happened. She thanked me for everything I did and said she let me know she filed for a divorce. She had enough of the lies and cheating. I was one of the many other times of their marriage. She told me I was the first woman to actually present pictures, text, pregnancy test, and ultrasound, and felt I was being genuine about what happened. I apologized, saying I never wanted to embarrass her. I was just so angry. I saw red. I told her if I had known he was married, I would have never dated him. She told me to not worry and believed me, especially with what I did when I saw him. She apologized to me for everything he did. This woman is a freaking saint. She deserves better. When cried about everything we've been through and comforted each other through this mess he created, I felt so much better having a heart-to-heart with her and wish her the best. It was no surprise that he came looking for me, begging for me to forgive him, and I told him to get lost and I never wanted to see him again, especially after saying that the baby was not his. I wasn't surprised he tried coming back, especially after his wife filed the divorce. When it comes to my baby, there is also an update. After a lot of thinking, I had decided to keep the baby. Unfortunately, I was having issues with some bleeding due to the fetus not being fully attached properly to my uterine wall. While being on bed rest this past week, the bleeding got worse and I lost my baby. After having the miscarriage, it's been a very difficult time. I know everything happens for a reason, but it really hurts. I have a lot of guilt surrounding this miscarriage because I wanted an abortion, so I partially blame myself. So now I'm just taking some time to heal and grieve my baby. Thank you for all the advice and comments. Things are now good. Things are now good after a long healing process. I started fresh. My miscarriage took a very hard toll on my body, and there were lots of complications post-miscarriage. After finally healing properly, physically, and getting cleared with my doctor, post-miscarriage, I decided to do something myself. My job is completely remote, so I have been traveling a lot, living in different places for a few months, been exploring something new. My primary focus is now healing spiritually and mentally after such difficult time. Even though losing my baby was awful, I have a fresh start where I can be completely free of everything that happened. His ex-wife, because she did get a divorce and I keep in touch with, we've have a great support system to one another during a very challenging time, but I'm thriving and preserving. Wow, that is a lot. Like, I don't know where to start. When I started reading, my initial thought was, how are you not gonna know when somebody's married? Like, don't you think there's hints? Don't you think there's hints? Or you never doubted him in those 7 months? Like, he was your Prince Charming. He was perfect to you. There's no reason for you to doubt him. There was no reason for you to think maybe he's with another girl, or even though he didn't have family, but then you lost. I feel like it hit my heart when you said that you had a miscarriage, because I cannot imagine like if I would have had a miscarriage with my child. I feel like that would have been hard. And I feel like when you said everything happens for a reason, I 1,000% agree with you. 1,000% plus agree with you. I always say everything happens for a reason. Whenever something doesn't go as planned, or if something gets in the way, if there's like whatever thing that gets in the way of your plan not going smoothly, everything happens for a reason. Obviously, we're not all gonna have miscarriages when we have unprotected sex and get pregnant. But whatever the case, everything happens for a reason. 1,000% I agree. Now, he also said he didn't want kids. Well, why were, if you were not using protection, if you were not being careful, like when people don't want kids and then get pregnant and then they want to get an abortion is wild to me. I'm not trying to blame the girl on the post by any means, but it's just like a basic analogy on if you don't want kids, but you still want to do the deed, like use protection. Don't just use the natural pull-out method, because for example in this case it didn't work, whatever it was. And honestly, even sometimes condoms break, or it's not always 100% protection, but you were trying to what is the word that I'm trying to prevent it. You were trying to prevent it, but it still happened. You know, when that happens, it could also mean that everything happens for a reason. You know, maybe you just needed this child in your life or whatever the case might be. But I think what you did, that you went up to him, is valid because you were upset, you were sad, you were angry, you were all the above. And so what you did was kind of a good thing in this case, because you maybe like that was the official last straw of the girl, that he'd been cheating on her and she's been staying. And maybe she was in denial, she had never seen it firsthand, maybe she just caught like text messages, or because honestly, once a cheater, always a cheater. They're never gonna change. It's always gonna be the same thing. So you running away from him in the first place was great, but then, you know, this happened, and again, everything happens for a reason. So maybe that's what that girl needed, that last straw to leave him, because who knows, maybe that girl still would have been with him and the guy still would have been cheating. So yeah, everything happens for a reason. And on top of that, I don't want to say it did you good, but you, like you said in the post, you work from home, so you make your home different places. You travel, work, you travel to a different state, a different city, a different environment. So maybe it's good for you, it's good for the girl that he was cheating on. And also, don't feel like you caused the miscarriage, or because because you considered an abortion that it happened, so you are not at fault for it. It's just life, honestly, and life hits you with unexpected situations, unexpected events, and you just kind of have to deal with it and go with the flow, like I said, and like you said, and I'll say it again and I'll repeat it again. Everything happens for a reason. My cousin and I will literally have deep conversations about everything happens for a reason. 1000% I believe it. If you never thought a bit about it, or what do you believe in? Why can I not speak? That was it for this week's video. That was it for this podcast. That was it. That was a lot. I'm gonna repeat it. That was a lot. And then he was like 40, like almost half your age. Anyways, let me know down below what type of videos you guys would like to see. Let me know if you have any stories that you would like me to tell. And let me know if you like this type of videos. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and comment down below what you believe in. Do you believe in everything happens for a reason, or what do you believe in? Okay, bye.